Some people go for a walk in the woods to relax and be at peace, while others embark on a forest adventure only to stumble upon the most baffling discoveries imaginable, from a curious bridge to a curious turtle found in India. Welcome to a new video. These are the 16 weirdest things ever found in the woods. If you like this type of content, subscribe to our channel. It's free. Now, let's get started. Number 16. A bridge for nature. India is home to many species, but with constant construction, the nation's jungles are being divided up, and some parts are being converted into housing areas or roads. Luckily, conservationists are dedicated to protecting India's wildlife, so if you visit the country, you might come across a strange hanging bridge in the middle of roads surrounded by forests. These bridges are not for humans, but rather for animals. This particular eco-friendly bridge is located in one of India's hilly states, and this path is 90 feet long and hangs between the treetops. This eco-bridge, also known as wildlife flyover, is a vital solution to a pressing problem. Animals can cross for traffic on roads that cross their natural habitats built using locally sourced materials such as jute and bamboo grass. The eco-bridge is designed to blend seamlessly with the surrounding environment, which not only helps in reducing the ecological footprint of the construction, but also ensures that animals are not deterred by an unnatural-looking structure. The bridge is covered in soil and vegetation that mimics the forest floor, encouraging animals to use it as a safe passage. The eco-bridge is situated over the Kaladungi-Nanital Road, a road known for its heavy traffic and proximity to protected forest and areas that are home to a wide variety of wildlife, including leopards, deer, and elephants. Number 15. A terrifying green box discovered in the woods. Last March, users of an online forum were abuzz after a post made by an Australian man who found a mysterious green box while walking along a track in Katoomba, in the heart of the Blue Mountains. The box was found chained to a tree at the base of a popular hiking route. The box has sparked a frenzy of online speculation. Some suggest it could be a geocache, a hidden container used in a global treasure hunting game where participants use GPS to find hidden treasures. Others, however, believe the box could contain many more sinister items. For now, the box remains sealed. Do you have any theories about what could be inside? Let me know in the comments below. Number 14. A secret family home in the woods. In 2012, officials near the village of Westcott, Surrey, were baffled when they discovered a house in the heart of the woods that no one was aware of. The family who had been living in the area were naturally expected to leave. The only problem, but no, is that they cannot be evicted because they have lived in the area for over 4 years. This is the story of Daniel and Jessica Brown and their secret home in the woods, hidden away in a secluded spot near the village of Westcott, Surrey. The couple lived an almost clandestine life from 2007 to 2012, and for years their neighbors had no idea the Browns were there, and it wasn't until they registered for the electoral roll that their hidden dwelling came to light. The Browns had built their home without planning permission, clearly evading detection by blending the house into the surroundings. While some were impressed by the Browns, others were not happy with their undercover neighbors, claiming the family violated community standards and laws. Unfortunately, for those who were not in favor of the Browns, the family already obtained the legal right to stay after proving their continuous residency since 2007, backed by a wealth of evidence including utility bills, insurance documents, and personal testimonies. Number 13. A medieval hoard. At first glance, these grey objects might look like nothing more than strange rock formations, but if you look closely, you will see that they are actually coins. Yes, you heard right. These are coins that were used around 1320 in what is now Germany, Switzerland, and France. 1,500 pieces of these medieval coins were discovered in Germany's Black Forest in May 2024. They were found in the village of Glau during the routine construction of the oil pipeline line, and the quantity of coins led to the hoard being referred to as the largest of its kind in the region since 1949. These coins were mainly from Bryac Freiburg and Zingen, with some from Basel St. Gallen and other nearby minting places. The area was known for its rich silver deposits in the past, and these coins reflect the wealth and economic importance of the region during the medieval period. After the remarkable discovery, The coins were sent to experts for cleaning and conservation. After extensive research and documentation, these coins are likely to be put on display for the public to see and appreciate. Number 12. A 1900-year-old Roman superhighway. Nearly 2,000 years ago, Roman invaders built a road. Today, after millennia, archaeologists have discovered the 15-foot-high and 85-foot-wide road. Amazingly, it contains no potholes that cover modern roads. This ancient superhighway had a central cobbled street designed for rapid troop movements, with additional paths for livestock and deep ditches for drainage. This is one of the largest Roman roads we have come across in recent years, and it is likely that its size was meant to be intimidating. They were built shortly after the Roman conquest in the 1st century. Its scale was probably chosen to show off the prowess of the Roman legion to the people living nearby. Although it looks like nothing more than an ordinary road today, thousands of years ago, it was one of the most extensive Roman roads ever built. Number 11. A cabin full of classic cars. If you have the money to burn, you can buy this cabin in the woods of New Hampshire. But there's one catch. You have to buy it along with all the classic cars in the area. This unique cabin, listed for $400,000, is located in the heart of Canaan, New Hampshire. Any interested buyer could only purchase the home with cash, and would agree that the 18-acre woodland property would come with nearly 300 classic cars. The collection dates back to vehicles from the 1940s to the 1970s, and includes a mix of forgotten gems like a Nash Metropolitan and a 1958 Ford Edsel, along with countless other models that any car enthusiast would appreciate. You're probably wondering about this massive collection of cars. The backstory of this property is pretty simple. It was once home to parts of a classic car business's past. With no further profits being made, its owner decided to sell not only the land, but also the business itself, or at least what remains of said business. Most of the classic cars required maintenance, and several of them were even acquired by nature. The center of the property, which was described as a post and beam-style house, was also in a significant state of disrepair, with exposed posts and unfinished rooms. Luckily, a person who wanted to undertake a personal project managed to acquire the property. Number 10. Rare Asian unicorn spotted in the forest. When you think of unicorns, you probably don't think of this creature, but it's almost as rare and elusive as the mythical creature. This creature is often referred to as the Asian unicorn. It is native to the Alamete mountain range, a rugged mountain range that straddles the border between Vietnam and Laos. This area is known for its rich biodiversity that is home to many species found nowhere else on Earth with its habitat and elusive nature. It's no surprise that it wasn't until 1992 that researchers discovered this creature, and only a handful of sightings of it have been recorded since. The animal resembles an analog with long, thin horns, but has striking white facial markings and sleek brown fur that sets it apart. But last year in 2023, conservationists and Vietnam's central body spotted a saye. This is the first time in over a decade that this enigmatic creature has been documented in the wild, and this recent sighting is a victory for those working tirelessly to protect the species. Conservation efforts have been stepped up in recent years to protect the saye from the dual threats of habitat loss and illegal hunting. The sighting of the sal is testament to the success of these initiatives, although much work remains to be done to ensure the survival of the species. Number 9. Perfectly working Soviet spy radio. Found in the woods in the late 1980s, manufactured by the Soviet Union, this was spyware designed for high-frequency communications. It was capable of transmitting encrypted messages at distances of up to 750 miles. The device itself was split into 3 main modules: the transmitter, the receiver, and a digital storage unit. These components were cleverly designed to only work when all 3 were together, a clever safeguard against unauthorized use. It came as a surprise when in 2019, archaeologists excavating near the Germany column discovered the same spyware used by the Soviets. What was intended to be a routine excavation of a Roman villa in the Hayam forest turned into an unexpected discovery. This is a perfectly preserved Soviet spy radio code named STAR or SWIFT, or formerly R Unit 394 kilometers. The device, manufactured in 1987 in the Soviet Union, was probably buried just before the Iron Curtain fell in 1989. It was in perfect condition and only had one battery it needed to function perfectly. It was probably intended for covert operations, possibly monitoring nearby sensitive sites like the Ulish Nuclear Research Center and Norvin Air Base, both critical locations during the Cold War. What's more interesting is that most Soviet radios were labeled in Cyrillic, but this one featured Roman letters, meaning it was probably intended for an agent familiar with Western languages. Number 8. A rock anyone can move. In the heart of Brittany, France, nestled within the enchanting Welg goat forest, lies one of nature's most fascinating and mystifying wonders, the Shaking Rock. This rock weighs a staggering 137 tons or 302,000 pounds, but even a small child can move this seemingly immovable object. The Shaking Rock is perched precariously on a much larger rock base, meaning that as long as the person knows where to push, they can make this heavy rock move without breaking a sweat. The rock rests on a small ridge or peak, allowing it to tilt or shake with a slight push from just the right angle. This unique position gives it a sort of seesaw effect, which is why visitors flock to the goat forest for its lush beauty and to experience the surreal feeling of moving a rock that seems far beyond human power. Number 7. Mysterious World War II bunker discovered during tree-cutting work. Back in 2020, Forest and Land Scotland discovered an unexpected find during tree-cutting work in Rugged Lands, a forest near Moffat. It is a mysterious World War II bunker. This bunker was supposedly part of what was known as Churchill's Secret Army, a clandestine and elite unit officially called the Auxiliary Units. The members of this group were men specially trained and prepared for lethal missions and sabotage in the event of an enemy invasion. The bunker was buried 4 t below the forest floor, but remained incredibly well preserved over the years. The structure is remarkably well preserved considering it has been intact for almost 80 years, but with a concrete base and a rounded corrugated metal roof, the bunker is fortified with blast walls at both ends to protect it against grenade attacks. Discovering bunkers like this is a rare enough find. After all, in these underground locations where men operated, they had a life expectancy of just 12 days, fully prepared to destroy key targets and face death rather than capture. The unit associated with this bunker was likely made up of 7 men armed with guns, ready to resist a potential German occupation with ruthless efficiency. Although these bunkers are now nothing more than empty shelters, they remind us of the painful marks of history. Number 06. A medieval ring worn by the infamous Robin Hood. When you hear the word Sherwood, what comes to mind is perhaps Robin Hood, who lived in the heart of Sherwood Forest in Nottinghamshire. The forest was much larger in Robin Hood's time and stretched over 100,000 acres. Today, only a small fraction of the ancient forest remains. Robin Hood is an established figure in folklore, but we may never know if he was a real person or not. Robin Hood might have been nothing more than a small-time thief, rather than a hero who stole from the rich to give to the poor, but his story will live on. Perhaps this ring's links to the outlaw caused its price to skyrocket to $46,000 in today's money. This medieval ring was discovered in Robin Hood's Sherwood Forest by Mark Thompson, a 34-year-old amateur treasure hunter. The ring, adorned with a vibrant sapphire stone, likely belonged to a person of great wealth and status. During the medieval period, sapphires were highly prized during this time, not only for their beauty. They were believed to possess beauty, but also for their mystical properties. Experts think it could have been a prized possession of a noble member or the clergy, given its religious engravings of an infant Christ on one side and a female saint on the other. Experts have since authenticated the ring, confirming its medieval origins. It was likely made 250 years after Robin Hood was thought to have roamed the area, although not directly linked to the legendary outlaw. The location where it was discovered added to its value. The ring was auctioned off at Christie's, where it was expected to fetch a high price. The exact amount the ring sold for has not been revealed, but we know for a fact that Mark never got the actual amount that was fetched for the ring, as the rule dictates that the finder will split the proceeds half and half with the owner. Now here's a question. If you found something valuable in the woods, would you report it to the authorities or keep it to yourself? Depending on what he found, he might keep it all a secret. But if he were in Thompson's position, he probably would have done the same thing he did, report it to the authorities. Number 05. The pine planted over a millennium ago. In the highlands of northern Greece, nestled within the ancient Pindos Mountains, stood one of the oldest known trees in Europe, Adonis. Adonis is Bosnian. The pine that researchers say was planted over 1,000 years ago. Adonis was just a seedling when the Byzantine Empire was flourishing, and its life has witnessed a millennium of history, from the rise and fall of empires to the discovery of the New World and the dawn of the digital age. The amazing thing about this tree is that researchers weren't looking for it in the first place when they discovered it. Scientists led by dendrochronologist Paul Kusk of Stockholm University were studying Earth's climate using tree ring chronologies when they accidentally found this ancient tree. Imagine their surprise when they found a tree with 1.75 growth rings indicating its age. Despite the harsh environment and limited soil nutrients in the Pindos Mountains, Adonis continued to thrive for over a millennium. The secret is quite simple. The region has remained relatively untouched by human activity for over 1,000 years. This isolation having protected these ancient trees from the logging of land use changes that have claimed so many other ancient forests. Number 04. A terrifying creature. A drone makes a chilling discovery in the woods by accident. Mankind has explored most places, excluding the depths of the ocean. Still, there are still areas of land that we have not seen yet. This includes forests with thick layers that hide what lies within. Recently, from prying eyes, a drone flying over a dense forest happened to capture footage that sent shivers down most people's spines. These grainy images seem to show a strange creature that is unlike anything we have ever seen before. A person encrypted in a strange disguise, a hoax, or something much more sinister. How often do strange things happen in the woods? I wouldn't be surprised if this creature turns out to be something that truly defies the logic of any theories on what this creature could be. Comment your thoughts below. Number 03. A mysterious human skull. In October 2020, a hiker made a chilling discovery deep within the remote Durai State Forest, located near the New South Wales border with Queensland. He found a human skull partially buried in the undergrowth of the dense and isolated forest. I don't know about you, but such a find is enough to send me running. This discovery eventually led to forensic teams rushing to the site to determine if the hiker found historical remains as evidence of a crime. The authorities who stumbled upon the skull believed that the skull looked and felt like it had been there for a while. The forest was once a favorite place for gold prospectors to work, so this skull could have been the remains of someone who perished in the area over a decade ago to this day. However, the truth behind this skull remains unknown. Number 02. Bronze Age jewelry in Sweden. In April 2021, a Swedish hiker stumbled upon a treasure trove of jewelry buried in the forest near Alinga, Sweden. What he found is not just any treasure trove of jewelry, but one dating back to the Bronze Age. The find, consisting of around 50 artifacts, dates back more than 2,500 years and is believed to have belonged to a high-ranking woman during the late Bronze Age. The items include intricate neck rings, bronze spirals, arm rings, and even a bronze axe head, all of which are remarkably well preserved given their age. Unlike typical burial sites, this hoard was not found in a grave, but hidden beneath a rock in a mountainous, wooded area. This has led experts to speculate that the jewelry could have been part of a ceremonial offering or display of wealth similar to the potlatch ceremonies practiced by some indigenous cultures, where valuables are given away to demonstrate power and status. Little did the hiker know that a routine hike would lead him to discover one of the largest hoards ever excavated from the late Bronze Age in the nation. Number 01. A cheese turtle. This turtle is one of the strangest creatures to emerge from the forests of India. The Indian Forest Service found it in the state of West Bengal. Your immediate thought was probably, how did this little guy look like a slice of melted American cheese? You are not looking at a new species of turtle, but rather an albino turtle. The vibrant yellow hue with a turtle shell on the skin is the result of a genetic mutation called albinism, which leads to a complete or partial absence of the pigment melanin. This particular turtle is an albino variant of the Indian cheese turtle, a species typically found in South Asia. Normally, these turtles are a mix of green and brown, perfectly camouflaged in their natural environment, but this rare mutation gives a bright, almost neon yellow color, making it look more like a cheesy snack than a wild creature. Albinism in turtles, while rare, is not unheard of, but what makes this turtle so extraordinary is the intensity of its color, which draws comparisons to everything from melted cheese to egg yolk. Don't worry, this cheese turtle was later released into the wild, where it will continue to live, hopefully. We've reached the end of this video. Tell us what you think in the comments box. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss future videos like this one. See you next time.